Joe, a couple of days now since the FA Cup game against Reading. Nice to progress to the next round, but also nice to see some of the younger lads get an opportunity in that sense and take the opportunity that they got.
Absolutely. The manager made 11 changes and a few changes on the bench as well. Really nice to see some of the young boys who haven't featured a lot. Both of the lads who started the game were the first starts in professional football, which is amazing. They held their own. I thought they were fantastic. They've showed that they're good players. They're up with us quite often over on the training pitch. And I couldn't be more pleased. I thought they were professional. I thought they were really mature in the performances. They battled well and played how we wanted to play.
And then in terms of sort of turning our attention now back to the league, a big game coming up on Friday night under the lights at Turf Moor against Sunderland, and that's a tough challenge to be a team in good form.
Absolutely, but so are we. I mean, they're the team that are going to be coming to our home, trying to get the win, which is understandable. It's a great clash. It's a great match to be involved in. Something that we're really looking forward to, and if we can put on performances like we have the last 6 weeks over the Christmas period, heading into the new year, then things are looking good for us.
Definitely, and in terms sometimes when games get sort of build up and it's like a TB and the live game etc, and it's teams at the top end of the table, that expectation, do you kind of arrive at that game thinking differently, or is it just a case of you prepare for every game and every opponent and every game is going to be tough?
Yeah, every game is tough. I mean, this league's relentless, and all games and players and different squads and how they play give you different challenges to overcome. But we do a hell of a lot of work in the week, with and without the ball, set pieces, looking at how other teams are going to try and combat us and how we do the same to them. These are the games you want to be involved in. Friday night under the lights at Turf, it's going to be a great fixture. They're a great team. They're doing really, really well. The manager's gone in there, and a few of their players have really been standout players in the league this season. But we've been brilliant. I think I've had a little bit of time seeing the game a little bit differently, not being involved as much as the season's gone on, and the boys have been absolutely immense. I mean, I've tried to support as in a different way, off the pitch and on the subs bench and stuff like that in training, and we've been to a man absolutely amazing.
And you've touched on that, because I was going to ask you, you joined in the summer, and then in October you spent some time out with an injury as you recovered for a broken bone in your foot, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So you have had that since sort of being at Burnley, that spell kind of on the sidelines recovering from that and cheering the team on, and then how are you feeling now sort of being back fully fit and in amongst it as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's been turbulent. It's been, obviously I'm pretty new to the club, but I feel like I've settled in really well. I've got a good affinity with the players, the staff, the fans as well. I feel like this place is my home. I really enjoy it. But yeah, I was quite unfortunate in the Pompey game to break my foot. It was quite late on, and spent 8 to 10 weeks recovering from that, which is a really annoying, frustrating one. But no, since then we've conceded 9 goals, and it's one of those where you sit back and you look at how the boys have played, particularly Max and CJ, who are in my position, and absolute full credit to them. I don't think I've seen 2 young lads perform at such a high level. I certainly wasn't a high performing 21-year-old in the Championship like those 2 are. We've been amazing. CJ's been top class. Max has been he's been very, very good. To say he's fairly new to the club as well, and speaking a different language. And then you've got John Egan, who's featured as well. He's come in and he's been around the block a bit. He won't mind me saying. Somebody who I've played against a lot, and he's somebody who's a shoe-in if you have an injury or a problem, or you need to show up the defence. So I think we're pretty well stocked, and especially on the training pitch, we're all working together. We're all part of a team. It's not individuals. It's very much we are the goalkeeper union, centre back union sort of thing, and we have meetings every day about how we go about things. So I'm enjoying being a part of it.
Yeah, and like you say, the sort of stats are incredibly impressive. I think that's 17 clean sheets now, and there is talks, you know, on online, etc., of aiming for best defence records and comparing to these figures and stats to years gone by. In terms of, as it were, breaking records, etc., as that unit of defenders, do you ever think about that? Do you kind of sort of, does that play into your game, as it were, to wanting to break those records, or is it just, it's fantastic if it happens, but we're just trying to take each game?
You take each game as it comes, but at the same time, we spoke about, we had a look at the record. I think it's in the Championship it was 30 goals, but in the second division is 29, I think. So it's something that we have seen and we've looked at, definitely, but to reach that goal you have to focus on the game that's coming up, not in 15 games time. And it's the same habits during games, being solid, communicating, being fit, and offering good angles for your teammates, and just that real resolute grit and determination. That's what I think, as good as players that we are, it's all about how big your heart is and how much you want to keep the ball out of the net.
Yeah, and in another sort of key component of that watertight defence as well is this, and you certainly feel it around the training ground, this togetherness and the work, alongside the work ethic and the sort of work rate of the group, but there does feel a really good bond between you all as defenders, but also as the group as a whole, as players, with the coaching staff as well.
Yeah, no, that's something that is apparent to how well we're doing, in my opinion. We've been rock solid on the pitch, but off the pitch we've definitely been we're having a great time. It's enjoyable to come into training every day. The manager puts sessions on that are really productive and great, and we feel really fit and ready, and the numbers back that up. And we're having a good time with it. I think it's something that I've been in teams and sessions and environments where it can be tedious and all right, you might not be performing as well as you want, but we are a high performance team. We're playing really, really well, and I think that's down to the hard work that's been done off the pitch and also the camaraderie between the group.
And in terms of sort of it's a relative, I suppose it's a mixed experience. It's a relatively young squad in terms of some of the players. How do you see your role within that? Because you are, at your experience, you're a talker and you've got real sort of leadership qualities. Do you feel that that's one of the roles that you have within the group itself?
Yeah, definitely. I think all the boys though are capable of that. Touched on Max and CJ, who are two young boys, and they're still eligible and able to put their 50p in and explain how they want the team to perform and how the standards they expect from the peers. And yeah, I mean, I've been around for a few years now and seen good teams and bad teams, and this has got the traits of a top team, right from the bottom, the young boys who come up with us, Joe Barres and Tommy who featured in the FA Cup game, all the way to your Barneses, who I've known for 2 weeks, but you know what he's about, and obviously he's very well loved by the club. Jay Rodriguez, who's about 45 now. sorry Jay Rod. Somebody like Jay who's been at the club for a long time and knows what it's like, and amazing that he wore the captain's armband for the first time, first start of a game for Burnley, which I find incredible really for the character he is. And again, John Egan, Vaz, the goalkeeper, who's in his 30s. I mean, we've got that real good mix of young and experienced players, but experienced players who can add things, not just as leaders and as talkers, but also being able to perform highly on the pitch.
Definitely. And also, finally, I was just going to ask, in terms of, you've been here for a few months now, in terms of sort of Burnley and the community, you've done quite a few of the community visits where you've been out and sort of met the local people, the work of the charity. How important as a new player, a new club, is it to is that aspect as well, that off the pitch stuff about immersing yourself and meeting the people of the town that are filling the seats at Turf Moor, that are cheering you guys on a match day?
Yeah, definitely. It's something that I really enjoy, communicating and being part of. I'm part of the club, seeing how different things are from different angles, whether that be the fans, members of staff, the ground staff. I think it's hugely important, the community role in the club. Visiting the hospice, me, Jay and Redders before Christmas, seeing some of the people there and the amazing work they do. But also just that general affinity, people being outside the training ground, stopping, saying hello, speaking to people in the coffee shop in Paddy and stuff like that. Is something I've done all my career, and I'll continue to do for Burnley. I really enjoy that side.
Perfect. Great, thanks Joe. Thank
Thank
you.
you.